Welcome to World News. This is Jyoti. Let's dive into the details. US President Donald Trump received a standing ovation from Israeli lawmakers during his brief visit to Israel, following his successful mediation of a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. The applause lasted several minutes as members of the Knesset clapped and cheered Trump, who was accompanied by his special envoy Steve Witkoff, daughter Ivanka Trump, and son-in-law Jared Kushner. The visit marked a significant diplomatic moment, with Trump preparing to address the Israeli parliament amid praise for his role in securing the release of hostages and halting 2 years of conflict.
של אמריקה, מר דונלד ג'יי טראמפ.
Israel has successfully secured the release of several hostages held by Hamas in Gaza, following a ceasefire agreement brokered with international mediation. The hostages, who were abducted during the October 7, 2023 attacks, were handed over to the International Committee of the Red Cross and safely transferred to Israeli authorities. Among those released were individuals taken from the Nova Music Festival and other locations during the initial assault. In exchange, Israel agreed to release a significant number of Palestinian prisoners, including hundreds identified for immediate transfer. The ceasefire has temporarily halted 2 years of intense conflict, offering a moment of relief to families and communities affected by the violence. Medical teams are providing care to the freed hostages, and reunions with their families are underway at the military bases in southern Israel. Several buses carrying Palestinian prisoners released by Israel as part of a landmark hostage prisoner exchange deal arrived in the occupied West Bank city of Ramallah The release followed Hamas' handover of all 20 living Israeli hostages under the first phase of a ceasefire agreement brokered by U.S. President Donald Trump. Massive crowds gathered to greet the freed prisoners, chanting Allahu Akbar, God is the greatest, in celebration, waving flags and cheering as the buses rolled into the city. The emotional scenes marked a moment of triumph and relief for many families as nearly 2,000 Palestinian detainees were set to be released under the terms of the deal. The exchange has brought a temporary halt to 2 years of devastating conflict, offering a glimmer of hope for further peace efforts. Lahore witnessed major disruptions as Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan TLP clashed with the government forces during its Gaza march aimed at protesting outside the US Embassy in Islamabad. The government had denied permission for the march, leading to violent confrontations between protesters and police. Security forces used tear gas, batons and rubber bullets to disperse the crowd, while TLP supporters retaliated with the stones and reportedly set a police vehicle on fire. The clashes resulted in multiple casualties, including the death of a police officer and injuries to over 100 personnel. More than 100 TLP activists were arrested in response to the unrest. Lahore was effectively shut down. Schools, colleges and universities were closed. Major roads were blocked and mobile internet services were suspended in Islamabad and surrounding areas. The situation has sparked criticism of the government's handling of the protests, with the TLP vowing to continue its march despite the crackdown.
Don't allow it, don't allow it.
अभी भी अगर आप लोग खामोश रहे, अंदर बैठे रहे, बहुत शर्म का मकाम होगा आपके लिए। आप लोगों के लिए बहुत शर्म का मकाम है।
Carrying heavy weapons, including rocket-propelled grenades RPGs near the Pakistan border, following one of the deadliest nights of cross-border fighting in recent years. The clashes erupted late Saturday, October 11, 2025, along multiple points of the disputed Durand line, including Angur Adda, Bajar, Kurram, Dir and Chirtal. According to Taliban officials, their forces launched retaliatory strikes that killed 58 Pakistani soldiers. Pakistan's military, however, reported 23 of its personnel dead and claimed to have destroyed 21 Afghan border posts, killing over 200 Taliban and affiliated fighters. The violence followed a Pakistani air strike in Kabul earlier in the week, which the Taliban blamed for escalating tensions. Key border crossings have since been closed, and both nations have accused each other of provocation. The situation has significantly strained relations between the two neighbors, with Islamabad now demanding a true representative government in Kabul.
نړیوالو د پوره دا پیغام دا بالخصوص پاکستان د پوره 100% زور د سازمیلا جای دا ځل 20% د سازمیو
British Prime Minister Keir Starmer met French President Emmanuel Macron in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, ahead of a high-stakes summit aimed at solidifying the Gaza ceasefire and advancing peace efforts. The summit, co-chaired by US President Donald Trump and Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, brings together more than 20 global leaders to mark the recent truce between Israel and Hamas, which included the release of Israeli hostages in exchange for Palestinian prisoners. Starmer is expected to pay special tribute to President Trump for his role in brokering the deal, while Macron has called for an international legal framework to support Gaza's future stabilization. The summit will feature a formal signing ceremony and discussions on the next phase of the peace plan, which includes humanitarian aid and long-term security arrangements. Leaders from the European Union, Middle East and other regions are attending, signaling a rare moment of global unity in pursuit of lasting peace in the region.
Okay. How are you? I'm fine. Good. But I heard about the latest development. The one that I heard about. Yeah. Okay. We'll discuss. But it's. Bonjour, Monsieur, Dame. Alors, allez, bonjour.
Merci.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Bonjour, Monsieur, Dame. Oui, très bien. How are you? I'm fine. Good. But I heard about the latest development. The one that I heard about. Yeah. Okay. We'll discuss. But it's. Bonjour, Monsieur, Dame. Alors, allez, bonjour.
Merci.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Violent clashes broke out in the northern Cameroonian city of Gaurawa between supporters of opposition presidential candidate Issa Chiroma Bakery and the security forces just hours before polls closed in the country's presidential election. Tensions escalated when police and gendarmes reportedly surrounded the former minister's residence, sparking unrest as his supporters attempted to escort him through the city. Eyewitnesses described scenes of chaos with anti-riot vehicles deployed, tear gas fired and the crowds dispersed. Social media footage showed a grandmere vehicle set ablaze and some reports mentioned gunfire, though no official casualty figures were released. The clashes reflect growing political unrest in the region as Cameroon awaits the results of a highly contested vote.
Filme les gars, c'est bon.